Hello, welcome back. It's your boy Hank Hackerson at Hank Hacks Hackers, your favorite network and system attacker slash protector in this case. In today's video, we're going to be going through the phishing analysis tools that are available in the phishing module for the SOC Level 1 pathway of TryHackMe. And as a part of this room, we're going to be going through a lot of good stuff. This is kind of the general outline, right? So we have the intro, what information should we collect, email header analysis, email body analysis, malware sandbox, PhishTool, and then there's a couple of cases here, and then we have our conclusion. You can refer to the individual sections for this in the timestamps below. Everything has been timestamped, so you can go through everything easier if you're trying to look for answers, or if you're trying to find certain things. If you're going through these tasks yourself, you can use them like that. And every video that I do also has timestamps, so you can find it that way. If you're studying for your SOC Level 1 or Security Analyst certification, or Pen Test Plus, or Junior Pen Tester, any of those things, then I invite you to like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you get notified the next time that a video comes out. Everything that we talk about on this channel has to do with cybersecurity and pen testing and ethical hacking, all that stuff. So it'll help you directly with your certification exams, and you can use it on a day-to-day when you go to work, and most likely you'll be doing a lot of these things while you're working, and for your day-to-day job as a pen tester or ethical hacker or security analyst, any of that stuff. And plus, it would also be really nice to have you as a part of our community, and we've had a nice growth spurt in our community, so it would be amazing to have you join the gang as we learn about all of these things and we go through the journey together. So without further ado, let's jump into the introduction of this room. So from Phishing Room 1, so by now that video would already be live, and if you haven't seen that video, I recommend you watch that, because we're probably going to touch on a lot of things that we covered in that video, so it would be a good idea to have that first. We covered how to manually sift through email, source code to extract information, and in this room we're going to look at tools that are going to help us do that. I mean, you can technically, I guess, just watch this video, but it would be also good for you to learn how to look at raw source code in case you can't access these tools for whatever reason. So you need to know the foundations before you start using tools that do the job for you. So the tools that are going to help us examine email headers, techniques to obtain hyperlinks in emails, expand the URLs if they're shortened, look into tools that give us information about potentially malicious links without actually interacting with those links and clicking on them, and then techniques to obtain malicious attachments from emails and use malware sandboxes. This is a very important tool or strategy right here. To detonate the attachment to understand further what the attachment was designed to do. So you want to open it in a controlled environment so that it doesn't actually damage your system or your network, and that's what a sandbox is specifically designed for. These are actual spam and phishing emails, so be careful if you're gonna go to any domains or interact with any of the attachments and stuff like that. You don't want to actually do that. I would highly recommend you just either watch the video for this or go through the controlled environment with TryHackMe to do it. So let's jump into what information should we collect. This is pretty much a read-only task. There's no actual question that we need to answer at the end, and we just need to understand what steps we're going to go through when you analyze something suspicious or malicious. And this is the checklist for an analyst, which is you and me, to collect from the email header specifically. And then the email address, the IP address, so the sender email address, their IP address, reverse lookup of the IP address, subject line, the recipient email, which is probably whoever is the victim in this case. It can also be a CC or BCC, like blind carbon copy or carbon copy, and then the reply to email address if it's different from the actual sender email address, and then the date and time, because all of these things actually can give clues as to whether or not what you're looking at is malicious. And believe it or not, the date or time can actually play a part in that too. So after this, we're going to go to the email body and the attachments if there's anything, and this is something that we need to look at to collect from the email body. So the URL links, if there are any shorteners that are used, what the link is actually pointing to, which is a lot of times also just kind of like a what is it? I'm drawing a blank on the word, but it's basically a diversion. There you go. Like the text in the link that they used is used as a diversion to distract you from where it's actually going to be pointing to. So the name of the attachment, the hash value of the attachment, because you can actually get the hash value of the attachment without actually opening it and running it. So right here, not to click on any links or attachments in the email accidentally. It's very important to understand. So they said that twice already. So we just need to keep that in mind, and hopefully I won't forget and click on something and then ruin the lab environment, or I don't know what's happening, but we'll see. It just sounds really scary as they're telling us this. So let's look at email header analysis. All right, so some of the information that you need can be obtained visually from the client. So the HTML version of the email that you're looking at, so Gmail, Yahoo, all these guys, they actually show that to you. But the stuff like sender's IP address and the reply to information, if it's different than the email that is coming from, it can only be inside the email header. And so in Phishing Emails 1, we actually saw how to do this by looking through the email source code. And we can look at some tools that will help us retrieve this information. There was also some links that was available in Phishing Emails 1. I'm just going to open this just to have it here, that showed us resources, external resources outside of TryHackMe that we could use to try to find information like that. So for example, not ARPANET, let me see, it's actually here that we can use to see where these things are located. And let's see. So right here, the knowledge base article from Media Temple, which takes us to here. And then in here, they tell us what you can look for to find certain pieces of information, because it doesn't say reply to, or in the actual text itself, it doesn't say that. And again, there's another one that was available as well, that it's this one. I think, yeah, this is the one actually. So this is the one, not the first one, although this one is probably useful as well. But this one specifically, so for example, it doesn't say reply to in the source code, it'll say return path. And that's where you can find the reply to email. So when you're searching through the text, you can't find anything that would say reply to. You actually look for return path, and that's the information that gives you the email address that would be the same as the reply to email address. So I'm just going to keep this one open just in case we need to refer back to it. And then we can go back into this one right here. So per the site for Google, the message header from Google Admin Toolbox, it says message header analyzes SMTP message headers, which help identify the root cause of delivery delays. And you can detect misconfigured servers and mail routing problems. Copy and paste the entire email header and then run the analysis tool. And this is the message header tool that's available inside of Google, and it's free, and I don't even need to use my email address for this. So we're going to keep that open as well, just to be able to use some of that. Another tool is called Message Header Analyzer, that's available through, I don't know who, but this is another one right here, same thing. So I'll just keep all of those open for now, and we'll close some of these just to keep less tabs open. And again, it just shows us the message header, and then of course we have mailheader.org, which is yet another tool. And these are all free tools that you can literally just go to these links and paste stuff in there. So that's actually very useful. You don't need to have any kind of an account or anything set up. So that's always nice. Even though it wasn't discovered or discussed in the previous phishing rooms, a message transfer agent is software that transfers email between sender and recipient. We can read more about those here. Since we're on the subject, we can also talk about mail user agents, which we already discussed in the first phishing video. The option on which tool to use ultimately relies on us. It's good to have multiple resources to refer to, as they might reveal different information that some tool might not have. The tools below can help you analyze information about the sender's IP address, so we can keep that open as well. I'm just going to close one of these ones. I'll keep the Google one open and we'll see if we need anything else. But we're going to have IP info and we're going to have the Google admin box. And then IP info, you can pinpoint the user's location, customize their experiences, prevent fraud, ensure compliance, and so much more. And this requires a sign up from what I can tell. And let's see, they don't even have a free version of this. So I'm going to close this because I'm not going to sign up for any of that right now. And then we have URL scan.io, which is another one. Let's see if this one is free. This one seems to be free, but this scans URLs. Free service to scan and analyze websites. When a URL is submitted to URL scan, an automated process will browse the URL like a regular user and record the activity that this page navigation creates. Includes the domains and IPs contacted, resources, so on and so forth. So you can pause this and read it if you want to. But this is kind of what it looks like right here. URL scan provides a screenshot of the URL. This screenshot is provided so you don't have to navigate to the URL in question explicitly. And we can use other tools such as URL2PNG and Wanna Browser, which take a screenshot so that it's not clickable and you don't accidentally click on anything, which is actually very cool. Talos Intelligent is another tool that we used when we were going through the cyber threat intelligence modules and the rooms. And this is actually a very, very useful website as well. And you can search for a lot of stuff on here, not just IP and domain reputation, but you can literally find file reputations here, file reputations, secure endpoint naming conventions, categories. There's a lot of stuff in Talos Intelligence that we can find useful. So very, very cool. What is the official site name of the bank that Capital One tried to resemble? And that would be capital1.com. There you go. I was about to say, how's that not correct? I can already tell that this is this trying to be Capital One. So there's that. We didn't even have to look into that. I could just tell because I actually use Capital One as one of my credit card people. Moving on to email body analysis. So the email body is where malicious payloads may be delivered to the recipient in link or an attachment. Links can be extracted manually, either from the HTML formatted or sifting through the raw header. The example that we have here is from manual obtaining of a link by right-clicking on the link and then choosing copy link location. I've done this multiple times, and this is an example right here. So you have the link right here. You can do copy, or right-click on it, do copy link address in this case, and I just open up a new tab and I paste it, and it basically tells me what the link address is. Now in this case, it's actually the same exact link that this is, so sometimes it could be very different. So if I went to something that said click here, so CyberChef for example, this is a hyperlink, and so we can click on this, copy link address, and then go here, and then it gives us a completely different link. Look at this. There's a completely different link than what you just saw right there. And it's actually even a different link than the link for cyberchef.com, because there's literally cyberchef, or not cybersecurity. Gosh, what is going on? It is cyberchef.com is the actual link. So you have cyberchef.com. Oh my God, it's not even cyberchef.com. So maybe this is the actual link to CyberChef. Let's see. If we press enter. Okay, so this is the link. This entire time I thought that it was a completely different link, but I guess that's it. I think previously what I used to do is I would just do CyberChef and then press enter, and I would just click on the link right here. And I never paid attention to where the actual URL was going. So there is that. We are now here, so let's go back to the top here. So by right-clicking on it, you can copy the link location and then open it up, and then it can be accomplished with the assistance of a tool. One tool that can aid us is the URL extractor, and you can copy and paste the raw header into the piece right here. So we can do the raw header pasted in here, and it'll give us the extraction, what's actually available to extract. So you would paste the header in here, and then from here, extract URLs are visible in step 3. So it would be step 3 right here. So choose output options. We can choose that if we want to. If not, we can just paste it here and then do extract, and it'll actually show us what is available through all the URLs. And then we can also use CyberChef to extract the URLs by using extract URLs recipe. CyberChef is pretty amazing. It's one of the tools that we use very frequently when it comes down to security analysis, just because of all of the different quote unquote recipes that are available that you can just do a lot with. So it's important to note that the root domain for the extracted URL, you will need to perform an analysis on the root domain as well. And after extracting the URL, the next step is to check the reputation of it. And you can use any of the tools mentioned in previous tasks to aid. If the email has an attachment, you'll need to obtain the attachment safely. Accomplishing this is easy in Thunderbird by using the save button, and in a lot of other email clients, without actually having to open it, you can just save the attachment. After you've saved it, you need to get the hash, so SHA-256 sum or MD5 sum, any of those things. You can check the file's reputation with the hash to see if it's malicious. So that is a very reliable process. And then we can use available tools like the Talos Intelligent file reputation source website that will also show us what the reputation of that file is. We can go to VirusTotal, we can go to Talos Intelligence. There's a lot of different places that'll show you what the reputation of a file is based on the hash value of the file. And just like this, you can see this is the SHA file. It's malicious based on what Talos says. It gives us the detection aliases, so a bunch of different names that's been attached to this that comes with that SHA-256 hash value. VirusTotal, there we go. We're looking at it here as well, and it shows us. And VirusTotal has a measurement against a bunch of different detection software, so antivirus softwares or SIM softwares, anything like that. In this case, out of the 62, 23 of them have marked this specific hash value to be malicious. So you can rely on the fact that there's multiple places, but in my opinion, if even one out of the 62 have marked it as being malicious, that means that it's a good idea for you to keep your guard up and proceed with caution. So another tool company is Reversing Labs, which also has the file reputation service. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go and check the hash of a file to see what's up. How can you manually get the location of a hyperlink? And in what we saw in this lab, it was copy link location. But then for here, if we click on Reversing Labs, mine says copy link address. So that could be just depend. I think it depends on where you go that it'll show you that. And so this is it. reversinglabs.com is that particular link that we were just clicking on. And then if I click on file reputation service and I do copy link address here again, and then open it up, go here and register, this is the link that it would take us to. So it's a good idea to get into the habit of doing that, especially when you don't recognize an email or a sender or it looks fishy or anything like that. So that was how we can extract stuff from the body, or how to analyze the body. So now let's look at the Malware Sandbox, which I think is very important. The Malware Sandbox. So we don't need to have malware analysis skills to dissect and reverse engineer something to understand the malware better, because there are tools like sandboxes that can help us look at malicious files that can be analyzed and understand what it was programmed to do. And they're known as malware sandboxes, but then there's also something called a digital forensics sandbox that it acts the same way. Basically, you just use the sandbox, or you use a virtual machine that is designated to be the sandbox, and then you run everything that you want to run inside of that machine. And if anything were to happen, it's in a controlled environment. That's basically what a sandbox is, and it's a military term that was used to run exercises in simulations as if it was the real thing, and then you can run it inside a sandbox type of an environment to go through the motions and basically rehearse what would need to happen. And that's what a sandbox does in the digital cybersecurity environment as well. So we can upload an attachment that we obtain from a potentially malicious email, and see what URL it attempts to communicate with, what additional payloads are downloaded to the endpoint, persistence mechanisms, indicators of compromise, and a bunch of other stuff. So there's one that's listed below. So this is one, this is another one, this is another one. So there's a lot of these guys. So we can just, I guess, we don't really need to go to these links because these screenshots kind of tell us. But app any run, this is something that I would just save. Like I need to actually create a document outside of these videos where I can have a cheat sheet for all of these things that I can use for future reference. But app.any.run is a malware sandbox right here that we can go ahead and create a new task and essentially upload the thing into it. We also have hybridanalysis.com, which is another one where you can just do a file or a URL and get the analysis that way. You have joesecurity.org, which is Joe Sandbox empowers analysts with a large spectrum of product features, among them live interaction, URL analysis, AI-based phishing detection, Yara and Sigma rule support, MITRE attack matrix. This is a really heavy-duty one, apparently. I would not be surprised if there is a paid version of this or something. But yeah, this is probably just three of a bunch of different versions of this that we can use for a malware sandbox type of an environment. So let's now look at PhishTool. Tool that will help you with the automated phishing analysis is PhishTool. So let's get into the habit of right-clicking, copy link address, and go paste it here, and it takes us exactly to phishtool.com. So I can just open it so that it's the next tab over. Stop trying to avoid phishing, choose a weapon and fight it. Get PhishTool now for free, and then I can do this, right? Click on that, copy link address, open it, and go here, and it takes us to the PhishTool sign up community version, right? So there's a lot of different good versions of this, a lot of cool tools that allow us to do this. And PhishTool apparently is a commercial and community version. Then we have, yes, I saved this for last. What is PhishTool? Be you a security researcher investigating a new phish kit, a SOC analyst responding to user-reported phishing, a threat intelligence analyst collecting phishing, or an investigator dealing with email-borne fraud. PhishTool combines threat intelligence, OSINT, email metadata, and battle-tested auto-analysis pathways into one powerful phishing response platform, making you and your organization a formidable adversary immune to phishing campaigns that those with lesser email security capabilities fall victim to. That is a sales pitch if I've ever heard one. There's a free community edition that you can download and use. I uploaded a malicious email to PhishTool and connected VirusTotal to my account using my community edition API key. Below are a few screenshots of the malicious email and the PhishTool interface. And so this is kind of what it looks like. This is the title, obviously, of the email, the subject line. It's from Oscar Esquit at Grupp or whatever and then these are all of the CCs that have been attached to it, the return path, and then we got some 6 hops, 3 headers, etc., etc. You can see that conveniently it was grabbed for us the email sender, the email recipient, a long list of CC'd email addresses, the timestamp, and the originating IP and reverse DNS lookup right here. So we can obtain information about SMT relays and specific X header information and IP information as well by just looking further down. So this is going further down on that same screen. And then the tool notifies us that reply to no present, although it provides the alternative header information return path. So where do we have that? So I mean, I don't see it, so that's probably what they mean by like saying reply to no present. It does give us alternative information and the return path. Then to the right of the PhishTool dashboard, we can see the email body. There are 2 tabs across the top that we can toggle to view it in text format or the HTML source code. So this is the text format of this. And then this is the HTML source code view of this. And then the bottom panes will display information about URLs or attachments. And in this case, there were no URLs, but the attachments were the, what is it, electronic wire confirmation zip file. And from VirusTotal, 39 out of 64 different vendors said that this was malicious. Then we can grab the zip file and hashes without actually interacting with it, which is also really nice because it has the MD5 and the SHA-256 hashes. And then there's an ellipsis to the far right of above. If you click that, which is this thing on the right, it'll provide additional actions, including, flag it as malicious, download it, or do anything like that. We can look at the strings output, which is all of this and all of these things. It's jargon to me, so I don't even know what the hell is going on. VirusTotal right here, 39 out of 64. Malicious, we already got that. Since the API key is free, an analyst can manually navigate to VirusTotal and do a file hash search. Lastly, any submissions you upload to PhishTool, you can flag as malicious and resolve with notes, and the attachment file name and the file hashes will be marked as malicious. Then we click resolve, which is in the top section, and in the next screen we can mark the email based on drop down sections. So any of these things. So it could be a malicious attachment, it could be a spoofing thing, any of that. So you could flag it and resolve it as such. He did not perform further analysis on the domain name or IP or any of the other stuff. The reason why additional flags and classification codes weren't selected for this email. To expand on classification codes briefly, not all phishing emails can be categorized as the same. A classification code allows us to tag a case with a specific code, such as whaling, which is a high value target like a CEO or a CFO, and not all phishing emails with a high value target, such as Chief Financial Officer. Not all phishing emails will target a high value target, such as the CFO. So look at the strings output. What is the name of the exe file? Okay, so I guess there's something in here that's the exe. Oh, right here. Look at that. So 454326_PDF. And there is that. So, okay, I could have probably noticed that if I would have paid closer attention to it. As soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, I can't tell what the hell this is. And I just tuned my mind out. But literally at the very, very top, you see that it actually says it. So I should have paid closer attention to that. That is my bad. Okay, so now moving on from PhishTool to our first actual phishing case study. And it requires us to start our machine and let that load. So I'm going to let that load and we will come back to our first phishing case. All right, so here we go. Scenario. We are a level 1 SOC analyst. Several suspicious emails have been forwarded to us from other coworkers. We got to obtain details from each email from our team to implement the appropriate rules to prevent colleagues from receiving additional spam phishing emails. We're going to use the tools discussed throughout this room or our own resources to help us analyze each email header and body. Deploy the machine attached to this and yada, yada, yada. What brand was this email tailored to impersonate? So what's the email? Does it tell us where it is? Okay, it's probably this one email that's right here. So we're going to click on this thing and it should open it up for us. And here's the entire thing. So if I just take this whole thing, because this I think is the entire email header from what I believe, what I understand. So I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to do a copy, or I'll just copy like that. And let's go to, I think it's this. So if we paste it in here first, the extracted output, look at that. So we already, right there, I didn't even need to click on anything. It already did it. So these are just the hyperlinks that were extracted here for us. Schema.org, assets, yada, 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 fonts, images, Kroger, TCO. Okay, that's that. I'm going to close this for now. Then we got, it says, what brand was this email tailored to impersonate? So can we see that from this? We can't. So let's go to, this is the reputation center. So we'll go to message header. Let's see what we can get from this. Analyze the header above. Netflix. So right there, Netflix. What is the from email address? So let's see if I can get that from here. From email address. This is the from email address. This seems to be really gnarly. I don't know if that's it, but let's see if that's actually it. Oh, okay. Wow. All right. What is the originating IP? And we want to defang the IP address. So let's get the originating IP. It's one of these two right here. Let's see if, I think it's a 3-digit IP. So it's going to be this thing. I'm going to copy that. I am going to, let's just, I guess we'll open up a new tab, go to CyberChef. And CyberChef has a very, very useful feature called defang. So we're going to just go here and we're going to defang the IP address. And then you paste that and then it does it for you. So this is the IP address originally. And then you go here and this is the defanged IP address, which basically is putting the brackets around the dots so that it doesn't become clickable. And there's that. And so from what you can gather, what do you think will be a domain of interest? Defang the domain. So let's go back to, where was it? Here? Nope. Here. Nope. Where is it? Right here. Okay. A domain of interest. So let's see. All right. So we came to Talos Intelligence and I clicked on IP and domain reputation. And this is the stuff that shows up here. So we have google.com. Well, that can't be it. So block lists, maybe it's under block list. There we go. This could be a series of information for us. This is a bunch of mail data, which is Google. Let's look at the who is. There's nothing under who is. Email volume, IP addresses. Let's see what else I can find here. Okay, so that information was actually not available on any of this stuff, and I got kicked out of Talos. Talos blocked me because I was searching for this IP address. I went and pasted this IP address into Talos, and I got blocked. That was actually kind of sad and a little bit upsetting, honestly. So if I go here, this is the file reputation. So if I go to, let's go to their homepage. And let's see, web reputation, IP reputation. So let's see, IP reputation. No, where was it? There was something that I clicked on to get me to that reputation screen to be able to get that information. And when I pasted it, they said you've been blocked, basically. So I might need to log in, but we'll do that at a later point. Anyways, the answer right here for this one, I got literally by just looking at the raw email right here. And so at the very, very top, the return path is postmaster@etechnode.xyz. And then I went into CyberChef and I pasted that and it gave me the defanged version with the thing. And then I pasted it right here and that's the actual answer. So now we're looking for the shortened URL and we got to defang that URL as well. And so I'm going to look at this thing to see if any of the, I mean, these look like shortened URLs. I don't know if these are the right ones, but they look like shortened URLs. So I'll just try one of these, or I'll try both of them, I guess. Let's bring it all the way over here and try this thing. Let's see if this works. That did not work. So let's try this one. Okay, neither of those worked. So now I got to do a manual hunt. Okay, so here's how we found this answer right here. It was actually very close to these two right here. But there was something wrong with this last section of these two shortened URLs. And so when I looked for t.co inside of the actual email itself. Let's go look, wait, go back right here. When I look for this, it takes me to what is happening here, bro? My God. Let's go up one more. This is the actual text right here. So when you look at this, at the beginning of this ahref, and this is what a hyperlink HTML code starts with. It's ahref, and then it ends with the A at the very end that is also, so let's track this down all the way. So this is the end of it. So this is the end of this whole thing right here, okay? We see that there's an image attached to it, and then there's 3D with the image. I don't know if that means three-dimensional or what, but there is several instances of 3D showing up, and it shows up before the beginning quote of the actual hyperlink. And so my guess was that if I just removed this portion of 3D equals, and then put that 1 where it was, so it would be AMP equals 1, and then just take this whole link. So https t.co, and then right after AMP equals, we just put 1, and we remove the 3D equals because this is something that was a parameter before the link started. This is a guess at this point. I'm not sure if that's actually the reason why it worked, but I did that, and I literally just did AMP equals 1, so I just removed the 3D equals from the actual link that was shown to us here, right? So 3D1, 3D equals 1, and then I just removed that section and then did AMP equals 1. And then I defanged it using CyberChef, and lo and behold, it worked. So that is the answer to the last question for Phishing Case 1. So now we can go into Phishing Case 2. For Phishing Case 2, I mean, the scenario is pretty much the same. Now they're saying a malicious attachment from a phishing email in the previous phishing room. So the second phishing room, because we're in the third one, the second phishing room had a bunch of different actual phishing emails that we were analyzing. And so it's saying that one of those, the attachment from that email has been uploaded to any run for us to analyze. And so this is it. And it comes, this was the update your payment information using a PDF document that was sent via Netflix. And so in this case, we are going to use that to answer these questions. So it says, what does any run classify this email as? So let's go and try to find that first. Man, this took me a long time to notice this. It's right up here. Suspicious activity is the classification activity. Yeah, there you go, man. Okay, what is the name of the PDF file? That should be right here. Payment update ID.pdf. Payment update needs to be separated by a dash. There you go. So payment update ID.pdf. And what is the SHA-256? It's at the very, very top right here. No, it's the MD5. So where's the SHA-256? All right. So actually, the easiest way to find it is we copy the MD5. We go to virus total. We search for the MD5, and then we come under details. And then under details, there's a SHA-256 code. And that should be our answer here. That is indeed our answer. What two IP addresses are classified as malicious? Defang the IP addresses, and then IP address. So let's see. Do we have that here? Should be here. Let's see if we can find it under virus total. Okay, so there's a little button right here called text report, and if you open that, it brings you an entire nice report that number one, the SHA-256 hash is right here. You didn't even need to go to virus total to find it that way, but there's a lot of really neat information on here, and I have a feeling that we're going to be able to find the malicious IP addresses on here too. Yep, So here's the first one, 216.107.24. It's labeled as malicious. And is there another page? There's another page. There we go. So 216.107.83. So this is how you actually go to the second page. So page 1, 216.107.24. Page 2, 216.107.83, right here. So here we go. We're going to copy this. We're going to go to CyberChef. Paste that in here. It's going to be 1 right here. And so this will be one address. And that's 1. And then we're going to go to this thing and we're going to go to the first address. There we go. And that's the first address. And copy that. Separate by commas. There we go. What Windows process was flagged as potentially bad traffic? That one I actually saw right here, and I just know that this is not good traffic, the svchost.exe, but let's see if we can actually find it as flagged right here. Oh, right here, potentially bad traffic, svchost.exe. So there is that. Do we need to defang this too? I don't think we need to defang that because it's not a bad click. Okay, there you go. That is it. I should have just clicked on this freaking text report at the very beginning to save me some time, but apparently I like doing things the hard way. So there's that. We can now close this and we can move on to the last phishing case, phishing case number 3. This is another one that is, it has a malicious attachment and it's on any run. But now that I know where to look for most information, I can do it quickly. So first and foremost, it says what kind of flag is it. So this is malicious activity. So there we go. Very good. What is the name of the Excel file? So let's try to find that real quick. Clicking on the text report right here, the same text report button brings this to us. This is the name of the Excel file. So we're going to do that. And what is the SHA-256 hash? All of this could have been found so quickly if I would have just used the report. And I would have saved myself so much time. What domains are listed as malicious? Defang the URLs and submit answers in alphabetical order. There are 3 domains. So let's go find these malicious domains. It's these guys right here. So I think this would be a B, F, and then W. Should be like this. So copy, go here and paste that. Backspace. And then take the next one and we're gonna separate these by commas. There we go. And then take the third one and separate this by a comma. Whoops. There we go. And this should be our answer right here. No, whoops. This place. There we go. Nice. What IP addresses are listed as malicious? Submit from lowest to highest. So let's find the malicious IPs here. Got 2 IPs, I think, right? Is it 2? There's 3. There's 3 malicious IPs. Let's try to find them. All right, so all 3 of these IP addresses are listed as malicious, and they're also down here, so under the DNS requests. So we're gonna do this right here. What did I just do? That's the first one. And we need to lowest to highest. So I guess 75 would be first technically. And then 103 would be the next one, which would be between those. And this would be our answer right here. There we go. And then what vulnerability does this malicious attachment attempt to exploit? So let's see what we can do here. At the very top, we have our CVE for this vulnerability. What I can do is I can also search for this CVE to see what it shows. And it says the description is Microsoft Office 2007. Okay, so Microsoft, all these versions of Microsoft allow an attacker to run arbitrary code in the context of the current user by failing to properly handle objects in memory, aka Microsoft Office memory corruption vulnerability. That's what it is. And this is the ID number of it, and that's what we are looking for, I believe, is the ID number. Very good. And just like that, we are done. And that was it. So this was, I feel like a good analysis exercise that we were able to run. And any run is the place where we can go and check a lot of these things. And it has some really good reports. And I didn't need to sign up for anything. And I was able to run the whole thing and get the information from it. So any run is really cool. I think if I could have gotten access to PhishTool on the virtual machine, it wasn't letting me load PhishTool.com to actually go and create my account. I created one on my own computer, but I would need to download or transfer the email file that we were analyzing. And I did not want to do that. So I didn't want to transfer the email file, but you're more than welcome to try to do that. Or if you can, by any chance, run PhishTool on the virtual machine that TryHackMe gives us, then you would have been able to get a lot of that information much quicker and easier. I know that PhishTool is actually probably the best tool for that, and it would have given us the IP address that we were looking for, the shortened URL that we were looking for. So a lot of the things that we were looking for would have been available if we were able to just use PhishTool, because it shows us all of that information and then some. So that was kind of the thing that I didn't have access to, and so I was doing most of the stuff manually, which kind of defies the point of, using analysis tools in this particular case. So whatever, don't be mad at me, don't judge me, it's all good. We finished, and that's it for this. So I don't even need to really look at the conclusion of this. It has been quite an experience to just go through this. These are some tools that we haven't covered that we can check into. They deserve a shout out, as they say. So MX Toolbox, Fish Tank, and spamhouse.org. So that's pretty much it for this room, and we'll probably learn a lot more in the rest of this pathway, because there's still several things to do inside of the phishing pathway. If you learned anything from this room, or if you're studying for your security analyst or ethical hacker pen tester certifications, I encourage you to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell, because the only thing that we talk about on this channel has to do with ethical hacking, security analysis, and pen testing. And I've actually seen some comments come in where people are talking about the videos on this in this channel are actually helping them with their certification exams for Blue Team or for SOC Level 1. And so that's the kind of stuff that I love to hear, and it would be really awesome if I was able to help you in your journey as well. And apart from that, it would just be really nice to have you as a part of our community. So like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, drop a comment if you have any questions, and I'll definitely get to them. And that's pretty much it. It's your boy Hank Hackerson at Hank Hacks Hackers, your favorite network and system attacker / protector. Love, peace, and chicken grease. If no one else loves you, Hank loves you. I will see you in the next room. Later.